Buddy, I'm Karen McMakin. I'm going to be talking to you today about how sound travels through the auditory system. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite pictures from our textbook, Hearing Science Fundamentals. So sit back and enjoy, and here we go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the outer ear. The outer ear consists of the auricle, or the pinna, it's also known as. The bowl part of your ear is right here. It's called the concha. And then we have the external auditory meatus, which is also known as the ear canal. So the sound starts out here, and the ear and the canal acts as a funnel to gather the sound, and then it travels down the ear canal until it reaches the tympanic membrane. So next we're going to talk about the middle ear. The middle ear is separated from the outer ear by the tympanic membrane, which is here. Then we have the ossicles, which are the three smallest bones in the human body. They are the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. The footplate of the stapes rests right in the oval window, right there. So what happens as sound travels down the ear canal? It vibrates the tympanic membrane, which in turn causes the ossicles to move. And the main job of the middle ear is to change the vibration into mechanical energy and increase the sound pressure so it can activate the inner ear fluids of the cochlea. So next we're going to talk about the inner ear. The inner ear contains the vestibular system, which is this part, and this is what controls your balance. And it also contains the cochlea, which is this part that looks like a snail shell. As we said before, here is the oval window where the footplate of the stapes sits. And what happens as the footplate of the stapes rocks in and out, it creates horizontal movement of the fluid in the cochlea, which is actually a traveling wave. So as you can see from the arrows, the fluid gets pushed up and around and around and around. So this is a cross section of the cochlea, and what happens from here is that the horizontal movement of the traveling wave, which is coming through here, also creates vertical movement, which in turn creates an indentation of Reissner's membrane, which is here, and the basilar membrane, which is here, which causes bending of the hair cells, which are here. Now the hair cells convert the mechanical energy into electrical impulses that are then transmitted along the 8th nerve, or also known as the auditory nerve, to the brain. So after the electrical impulses are transmitted along the auditory nerve to the brain, they end up here at the cochlear nucleus, where they make their way up through the different parts of the brain: the medulla, the pons, the midbrain, the thalamus, the temporal lobe, the auditory cortex. So different parts of the brain process sound in different ways. The pitch and loudness is processed down here in the brain stem. The medulla helps with localization of sound. The midbrain coordinates with visual senses to localize and identify where the sound is coming from. The thalamus is really the sensory distribution center. That's where all of the info gets sent to higher sensory areas. And the auditory cortex in the temporal lobes is actually the primary site for processing speech and complex sounds. Well, I thank you for your patience, and I hope I was able to answer a few of your questions about how the auditory system works. Thanks again.